The sea is home to the world's largest living species, including the largest organism to have ever lived on the planet, which now dwells in the ocean. Explore the colossal animals that have piqued the interest of scientists throughout history. Some of these animals are still elusive and enigmatic. Let's take a look at them. Number 10. The Japanese spider crab. The Japanese spider crab is a kind of marine crab that may be found in Japan's coastlines. It's the arthropod with the longest leg span. In order to reach their massive size, they go through 3 larva phases and a pre-zoal stage. The Japanese spider crab is an arthropod with a leg span of about 12 feet, belonging to the same phylum as crustaceans, spiders, and insects. It's also the world's largest arthropod. It's not only the largest crab or crustacean in the family, but also the world's largest arthropod. The legs of the Japanese spider crab continue to expand as it ages, but the shell maintains the same size. The shells of juvenile Japanese spider crabs are believed to be decorated for concealment. Crab fisheries seek them out, and they are regarded a delicacy in Japan. Overfishing is a threat to these species and their population, and conservation measures are underway to safeguard them. Number 9. The ocean sunfish. The ocean sunfish, also known as the common mola, is one of the world's 2 largest bony fish, the other being the southern sunfish of the same genus. Tropical and temperate seas all around the world are home to this species. The huge fish without a tail, often known as the swimming head, has been measured at 10.82 feet and weighs an incredible 5,070 pounds. If you're wondering how a fish without a tail swims, it uses its powerful fins to propel itself. They can even swim on their sides with their fins. Ocean sunfish are usually solitary, although they gather in groups to clean. Sharks and sea lions are among their predators. Sunfish are omnivorous predators who eat tiny fish and fish larvae, squid, and crustaceans. Sunfish eat just about 15% of their food, which includes sea jellies and salps, which were formerly considered to be their major prey. In certain regions of the world, such as Japan, Korea, and Taiwan, sunfish is considered a delicacy. Regulations in the European Union prohibit the selling of fish and fisheries products from the Mollidae family. Gill nets are commonly used to catch sunfish. Number 8. The Oar Fish. The Oar Fish's unusual form has earned it the nickname sea serpent or dragon. These fishes are enormous, the world's longest bony fish, and dwells at depths of 3,300 feet. They are rarely observed alive and healthy since they dwell in the deep black water columns of the open ocean and rarely come to the surface. The majority of our information comes from standard specimens. The oar fish, sometimes known as ribbonfish, is a 26-foot-long fish with no scales. They are also noted for their big eyes, which help them to see in the dark, secluded environment. Their meat is not well rated for eating due to its gelatinous nature. Number 7. The giant Pacific octopus. The largest cephalopod is an approximately tidal giant Pacific octopus. This enormous octopus has a radial span of more than 32 feet. The octopus, which is normally reddish-brown, may change color when threatened or in need of camouflage. The huge Pacific octopus is a naturally intelligent creature that can open jars, solve mazes, and play with toys. Aquariums frequently contain enrichment activities for octopuses to keep their minds active. The gigantic Pacific octopus may be found in the wild all throughout the Pacific, from Alaska to Baja California and all the way to Japan. Even when the female is there to guard the eggs, scavengers and other creatures will try to devour them. Many different zooplankton and filter feeders feast on giant Pacific octopus paralarvae. The gigantic Pacific octopus is a food source for marine animals such as harbor seals, sea otters, sperm whales, and in comparison to other species, the gigantic Pacific octopus has a lengthy lifetime, with wild lifespans of 3 to 5 years. Number 6. The giant squid. The gigantic squid wins the title for being the world's longest cephalopod. Scientists have only had a few chances to see the enigmatic gigantic squid in its native habitat. A group of scientists from Japan's National Science Museum recorded a gigantic squid in its deep sea habitat for the first time in 2012. What we've discovered about this massive octopus is that it is reached long. Their feeding tentacles may grab food to 30 feet away. The enormous squid is also famous in the world of sea monster legends, where there's been linked to the kraken. Although the existence of many species of gigantic squid have been disputed, current genomic studies show that only one species exists. Number 5. The basking shark. To the best of our knowledge, the basking shark is the second biggest fish in the contemporary ocean. The biggest on record was about 40 feet long, around the length of a school bus. Even more astonishing is the fact that they can weigh up to 8,000 pounds. The huge snout of the basking shark is frequently observed gaping wide at the water surface, but don't be alarmed if you stumble across one while swimming in the ocean's depths. They're gentle giants who eat primarily plankton, fish eggs, and larvae. Basking sharks are not aggressive and are harmless to people, despite their huge size and intimidating look. The basking shark has long been a valuable commercial fish, providing food, fins, animal feed, and shark liver oil. Overexploitation has resulted in the extinction of certain species and the necessity for conservation for all. Number 4. The whale shark. Meet the magnificent whale shark, the world's biggest fish. These beautiful creatures travel across the world's oceans, searching for plankton and doing other fishy activities, including playing with humans who love to swim with them. If you come across a whale shark, you won't be able to miss it because of its 60 feet long size. Males develop quicker than females in the early stages of life, but they eventually reach a lesser maximum size. If the shark's size isn't enough to pique your interest, the bright and black pattern should. The whale shark lives in the open seas of tropical oceans and is seldom encountered in temperatures below 21 degrees Celsius. Whale shark lifespan has been predicted to be 80 to 130 years based on studies of vertebral growth spans and free-swimming shark growth rates. These fish, which resemble whales more than sharks, are designated as endangered because they are still targeted in some regions of the world. Number 3. The sperm whale. The majestic sperm whale is the biggest of the toothed whales and the largest toothed predator of them all, measuring over 80 feet in length. It would be as tall as an 8-story skyscraper if it was placed from end to end and on the street. Its clicking cry may reach 230 decibels underwater, which translates to 170 decibels on land, roughly the same as a rifle fire within a few feet of one's ear. It weighs approximately 20 pounds and possesses the biggest brain of any animal on the earth. Whalers sought the spermaceti, which was used for candles, soaps, cosmetics, lamp oil, and many other commercial purposes. But the sperm whale was heavily killed in the 18th, 19th, and 20th centuries. There were an estimated 1.1 million of them before widespread whaling. Today there are several 100,000, which is a large number when compared to other endangered whales, but it's nonetheless depressing given their previously thriving population. Number 2. The blue whale. Almost everyone has seen images of a magnificent massive blue whale. The blue whale is the world's biggest mammal, even surpassing dinosaurs in size. They may be as heavy as 441,000 pounds. Their heart are the size of a vehicle, and their heartbeat can be heard 2 kilometers away. They're already among the largest full-grown animals when they're born. The food of blue whales is nearly entirely made up of euphausids, and they are filter feeders. Except for mother-calf connections, they are mostly solitary or congregate in tiny groups and have no well-defined social structure. Blue whale vocalizations have a basic frequency of 8 to 25 Hz, and the frequency of vocalizations vary with area, season, behavior, and time of day. The species was nearly extinct by the 20th century due to commercial whaling. Thankfully, it was gradually rebounded since the global moratorium of whaling. However, these creatures are still vulnerable and suffer a variety of dangers, including ship strikes and climate change. Number 1. The lion's mane jellyfish. While the blue whale is the largest king of the sea in terms of total size, the lion's mane jellyfish is the longest. These languid beauties have tentacles that reach an incredible 120 feet in length, making them the longest metazoa of all. It's difficult to fathom why they have such amazing appendages. These jellyfish can survive in warmer seas because they're cold water species. The jellyfish are pelagic for the majority of their lives, but at the end of their 1-year existence, they like to settle in shallow protected coves. They are reported to become tangled in marine debris or with other tentacles, and because they take longer to contract, they're more vulnerable to predators who like jellyfish arms. Regardless, they don't appear to mind, and if nothing else, it has won them respect among humans. That concludes today's video. Thank you for staying with us all the way to the finish, and we'll see you in the next one. Farewell.